Woo. I swear to God, we'll walk away from this fucking thing.
Yes, me Mark are doing it today.
You want to do your stupid wrestling joke? Do it without me.
It's just such a fucking pain in the ass to have to go through and kind of blank spaces because that cuts our mic. So I have to go through and
cut our mic.
Yeah. So fucking man, dude.
Don't worry, I'll make one. I'll make one where it doesn't cut the mic and it has the song. I'll do that.
Where's my intro? We talked about this the last show.
Oh my God! You know how much? Straight out of Florida, at 220 pounds, he's all man, Little Max. It's Mark.
We ran to the ring.
There we go.
It's like, you could do the Samantha Irvin like with Chelsea Green. It's Mark.
I want to be in the intro video, man.
That's
right. You're supposed to fucking do that, Neil. You were.
I'm working on shit. I'll make another. Like literally, I had a friend yesterday that where's that at? I'll have to send it to myself to show you. But I had a friend yesterday. I'm in the middle of hanging out with these people at my house and all that stuff. He's like, dude, I need this right now. I need this right now. He goes, I just made a creative character of my my wrestling character, his real life wrestling character. He goes, and I need to promote it. And he goes, so I need like a thing. And I was like, okay. And I just put something together real quick. And he's like, no, I need this and with this. And then I was like, okay. So I did that. And he's like, okay, but without that and with this, like just kept asking for more. And I was like, dude, all right, this is the last one. Not fucking getting you. So if everybody wants to know, my good buddy Lunchador, all you people watching, you can go download them for WWE2K24 Lunchboard #86 as heard hashtag order up and Kenny the Sign Guy. There he is. Boom. And if you don't know, yep, I love Lunchador so much. I beat him up and stole his fucking mask right there. Boom.
Lunchador seems like the kind of guy you could steal a mask from pretty easily.
He's the guy whose house I went to for July 4th. What did you do for July 4th, Chris?
Oh, I went into a birthday party for a dog. That's what I did.
You went to therapy for your dog?
I went to a birthday party for a dog. That's what I did.
All right, now start the music.
It's a show by Chris and Neil with all great movies. They are the real deal. We watch them all, so you don't have to. It's movies that don't suck and some that do.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, welcome to a new episode of Movies That Don't Suck and Some Do. My name is Neil.
No, Chris.
And
I'm Mark.
Mark is with us again today, guys. You guys asked for him back. You guys said if you didn't bring back Mark, you were never going to listen again. So we brought him back. And for some reason, he's like watching porn at the same time he's talking to us. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not watching porn at the moment. However, if you're on TikTok, you can follow my live stream on TikTok Live. However, if you're on YouTube, you can watch the show there on Movies That Don't Suck and Some That Do. I'm like the ravishing Rick Rude of fat white guys being on the internet. Well, I'm in two places at once. Is it live or is it Memorex, Neil?
Yeah, we're on X too, right now. We're live on X as well, right?
Yeah, we're on X. We're on Facebook. We're on your Facebook or Movies Don't Suck Twitch. Facebook, my Facebook, YouTube, and we're on Pornhub.
Twitch. Are we in Twitch still?
Pornhub Live. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're just on.
We're the NWO of internet streaming shows. We are on
TikTok,
everywhere you can stream. God damn it.
Yeah, fucking.
Anyway. All right. So today we are reviewing two movies that are out there in the wonder world of movie view pleasure. First, the long-awaited after 2 decades, 3 decades. How many decades? 3 decades.
1994 was Beverly Hills Cop 3.
So
94.
yeah. 20 years.
The long-awaited, the one we've all been waiting for decades. The one, the only Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, featuring the one, the only, one of the biggest comedy geniuses of the 1980s, Eddie Murphy.
I'm Sergeant Taggart, and this is my partner, Detective Rosewood.
You always treat visitors from out of town like this?
Why didn't you identify yourself as a police officer when you were arrested?
Because I was minding my own business. Where the fuck you guys get off on arresting somebody for getting thrown out of a window?
We have 6 witnesses that say you broke in and started tearing up the place, then jumped out the window.
And you guys believe that? What the fuck are you, cops or doormen?
We're more likely to believe an important local businessman than a foul-mouthed jerk from out of town.
Foul mouth? Fuck you, man.
See, watch your mouth.
Hey, man, don't square off on me with some bullshit. You want to start some static?
Hey, don't push me.
Fuck you, man.
Taggart!
Yeah, from Beverly Hills Cop 1. Yeah,
Yes, him and John Aston. I thought that was the best way. Because I mean,
Yeah.
what else do you know John Ashton from? Like literally, like I think he was like in one episode of like NYPD Blue, like years ago.
I honestly, when I was a kid, thought they grew John Ashton out of a pot of dirt made of surly white men. I had no idea what that we need an old white racist cop. Here, just pluck one out of the plant.
Also, one of the great legends from the 80s who's in this movie, the one and only Judge Reinhold.
We found out your wife is worth quite a bit more than $10,000.
What do you mean?
We changed our minds. We've upped the ransom.
To what?
We're up to $2 million.
$2 million? Are you out of your fucking mind? Where'd you get an incredible figure like that?
Oh, you'd be surprised at the quality and quantity of information a lit cigarette can provide.
What else? Gems! He's got rare gems in the safe! Oh, Sam, forgive me!
What kind of gems? How many?
I don't know!
There you go.
Is that Ruthless People?
Ruthless People, because I feel like everybody knows Judge Reinhold from Fast Time at Ridgemont High or Beverly Hills Cop, but that is one of my favorite Judge Reinhold movies of all time.
Jonas, go watch Ruthless People when we're done.
When we're done. Also in this movie, Taylor Page.
Same bitch that want to smile in your face be the same bitch that gonna come for you later. Period. Oh God. Oh God.
Like, why you on my Twitter? Why you on my Facebook? Why you on my Tumblr?
Why you DMing me? Sis, why you tagging me in photos? You don't even fuck with me.
Sis.
Let me know.
Sis.
Let me know.
Yes, sis.
You gonna get that?
From Zola. What the fuck are you doing with what are you doing, Neil?
Sometimes I'm just more important, guys, and it's just we
Yeah.
just gotta. But yeah, that's from Zola, A24 movie, which that's why I did that one.
That's where I knew her from. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, in this movie, the guy who had to suffer the wrath of the Nolanverse, Mr. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Sin City's where you go in with your eyes open. Or you don't come out at all. But a city's like a woman or a casino. Somebody's gonna win. And it's gonna be me. It's the kind of place your father doesn't want to talk about. But where I come from, father's a thing no one seems to be able to find.
Yeah, from Sin City.
That's not from Sin City.
Uh-huh.
That's A Dame to Kill For. Jesus Christ. Get
What
the,
the fuck ever, man.
get the movie names right. You're on a movie podcast.
You got one person.
And the one, the only, the greatest actor in the history of man, Mr. Kevin Bacon.
And there was a time for this law, but not anymore. See, this is our time to dance. It is
our way of celebrating life. It's the way it was in the beginning. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it should be now.
Kevin Bacon, Footloose.
Now I gotta cut
Now-
Footloose.
You know why I play? You know
Off
why?
my
You know?
Sunday shoes. Sorry.
Do you know why I use that clip?
Because the Bible's in it?
No. Footloose was the movie that was going against Beverly Hills Cop, the original, in the movie
I did not know
theater.
that.
Yeah, that was the same year. Was Footloose and Beverly
What
Hills
a
Cop
year
on.
in film. Beverly Hills
I
Cop and
know.
Footloose.
At the theater at the same time, and
Yeah.
that's a bunch of the actors in Beverly Hills Cop. Axel Foley. Now the second movie we did this year week, for some fucking reason, kinds of is like wait till I get to this movie, man. Woo! It's gonna be a fun time today. Anyway, the one, the only Emma Stone.
You are not doing this for the sake of art. You are doing this because you want to feel relevant again. Well, guess what? There's an entire world out there where people fight to be relevant every single day, and you act like it doesn't exist. Things are happening in a place that you ignore, a place that, by the way, has already forgotten about you. I mean, who the fuck are you? You hate bloggers, you mock Twitter, you don't even have a Facebook page. You're the one who doesn't exist. You're doing this because you're scared to death, like the rest of us, that you don't matter. And you know what? You're right. You don't. It's not important, okay? You're not important. Get used to it.
From Birdman.
Birdman! Yeah.
Swoosh, dude, swoosh.
I always love Birdman. Then the guy that Chris would totally marry
yeah.
if he could.
Yeah.
The one, the only Jesse Blunt.
What's your deal? Where are you from? Huh? Where are you from? What? Can't speak? Are you mute? You can't speak English? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. You open your mouth and tell me where you're from. Just make sure it's clear fucking English, okay? Where are you from?
I'm from Hong Kong.
Oh, China. China.
Well, what kind of American are you?
What type of American are you?
fuck it.
Chris loves the racists. I don't know why.
Like Chris and Ronnie Adams are going to form a support group. You know, men who are abused and gaslit on podcasts.
I know, Neil.
Oh,
that's people
right.
listen the first time they must think I'm a horrible person.
You're a bad human being, man. I mean, there's only 27 people watching right now. Anyway, then here's the guy that I would totally marry, the one, the only, the great William Defoe.
Willem, not William, but Willem.
That's what I said.
That's all right.
I did it in a funny accent.
Barnes believes in what he's doing.
And you? You believe?
I'm 65. Yeah. Now. No. What happened today is just the beginning. We're gonna lose this war.
Come on. You really think so? Us?
We've been kicking other people's asses for so long, I figure it's time we got ours kicked.
How the fuck did you not use him as the Green Goblin?
Oh,
you done fucked up.
Oh, because
you
you know
done
what?
fucked up.
No. You done fucked up because that's what everybody knows him from. Go back and get a movie that nobody knows that he's really in anymore. How many people today watch fucking Platoon?
Everyone watches.
No, I have met so many people who have never seen Platoon.
I know. There's a lot of people that don't know culture. They're mostly women. Listen to me.
Oh, God. We're gonna get canceled by the end of this episode. We're not even into reviewing yet.
Leave these two innocent men that I've now taken with me into the dark alley alone. I'm just focus all your hatred on me. Anyway, more so. Is the point of these clips to play for like obscure movies that nobody fucking remembers or knows, or is the point to play
a multi-award-winning movie?
Yeah.
Play a Green Goblin crit. Come on, Spider-Man.
Whatever. Kinds of kindness. All right, let's get going.
One more.
Oh, do I got one more? Or I don't care.
Yeah.
Margaret Coley, whatever. Fucking, I'm done. I'm out of here.
I'm just taking my own stuff. That was a gift. I wanted you to have it.
I don't want it, and we're not going to both use it.
Suki, it's your wall dildo.
No. It's Alice too. I never liked her. And she won't stop barking.
How can I take the dog, Suki? I don't have a home. Remember, you kicked me out.
Take Alice. Take the wall dildo.
It's your dildo, Suzanne.
That's from Driveway Dolls.
Were you doing cosplay as Richard Pryor's character from that one scene in Superman 3?
No, actually, that was from one day I worked at a bank and they wanted us to dress like Western, so I dressed like a bank robber.
You look like the dirt man, dude.
It's like, why do they want us? Okay, I'm dressing as a bank robber. That's all I'm gonna do. I did. I had the bandana on the piece.
I thought maybe you had him. I mean, whatever. But yeah,
whatever. But anyway, Chris, tell everybody where they can find us.
You can find us on moviesdon'tsuck.net. We're at X and TS Podcast. We're on Facebook at Movies Don't Suck Podcast. We're in what else do we do? Fucking Instagram at TS Podcast. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com. We're at W2Mnet.com. It's W2Moviesnet.com. Find us there along with Mark's podcast. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/Movies Don't Suck. We're on Bonfire, bonfire.com. Movies Don't Suck on Sunday Do. You'll find shirts and shit with our names on it. And where do you find podcasts? You can find Movies Don't Suck on Sunday Do. We're also on YouTube and all that shit. Subscribe, whatever. Like, we talking about today.
Talking really quick about the one, the only Nola's
Creole, motherfucker. Creole.
That's what I said. Coral,
motherfucker.
I said coral.
It's Creole, dude. It's Creole.
Now look at this beautiful restaurant. It's one of my favorite restaurants in the entire area of Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's beautiful. It looks like it's speakeasy. It's just cool. It's awesome. Look at this beautiful food. Oh yeah,
that's gorgeous looking.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Like New Orleans and Tulsa are like counterintuitive to each other.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Oh my god!
Like,
look at this. At it, and I just had lunch.
Yeah. I could be there right now if you guys do this on a Saturday.
Send me that in the mail, please. That Bloody Mary. That looks amazing.
Dude, this is exactly like, seriously, it's my favorite restaurant. If you guys ever come to Tulsa, it's at 1334 East 15th Street. They've been around for a good like 50, 60 years. It's one of the go-to places that anytime someone comes visit me, I usually give them as this is one of the options to go there because their food is just, and it's good price unless you buy like a like a prime rib or something stupid like that. Like this plate, I'm sure only costs like $16, $18. It's like somewhere around there. Those cost, I think, like 28. But like, rather go to Nola's, have good times. They're awesome. The owner Bill is a great, awesome dude too. Literally, go to Nola's, get food. I would be there right now enjoying some food, but Chris made me work today.
No, motherfucker. I said choose a time, and this is the time you gave me. All right, Jesus Christ. All right, But are you ready to get to movies? I think we're ready to talk
let's get to movies, man. Come on. Okay. We've been here. We've already been here for like an hour. I'm sure the 28 people watching want to know why a movie review place hasn't talked about movies yet.
Okay. We're talking Beverly Hills Cop Axel Left, directed by Mark Malloy. Mark Malloy directed such things as, I think this is his first, but yeah, this is his first like big ass movie. This stars the incredible Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley and John Ashton as yeah.
Sin City's where
That's not it. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Neil's got me all fucked up. Thanks a lot, dude.
I'm Sergeant Taggart, and this is my partner, Detective Rosewood.
You always treat visitors from out of town like this?
We also got Taylor Page as Jane Saunders.
Same bitch that want to smile in your face be the same bitch that gonna come for you.
Judge Reinhold as Billy Rosewood.
We found out your wife is worth quite a bit more than 10,000.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Detective Bobby Abbott.
Sin City's where you go in with your eyes open.
And finally, Kevin Bacon as Captain K. Grant.
And there was a time for this law, but not anymore.
Neil, what's the storyline for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F?
It's Beverly Hills Cop. Do I really need to explain it?
Just yeah. Go ahead, man.
I mean, like, all right. I'm just effing with you today. All right. Axel returns to Beverly Hills after his daughter's life is threatened and works with old pals John Taggart and Billy Rosewood to uncover a conspiracy. Right?
Who wants to turn on this?
All right. So a couple of years back, Sean Comer and I on our podcast where we review movie franchises, Long Road to Ruin, we did the entire Beverly Hills Cop trilogy, thinking, well, we'll never do a sequel to this. We can just do this whenever. I think we might have actually done it for as part of Black History Month. I was reminded how much I loved the first Beverly Hills Cop movie.
It's so good. So good.
I listened back to that podcast. I'm going to repeat what I said then. It is the original Beverly Hills Cop is just about perfect. It is exactly the right blend of comedy and action. It has, at the time when these things still existed, an on-screen star. Eddie Murphy in the 80s was at like the height of his powers. Like he really, I know he started on SNL and he was a star of the stage.
I'm Gumby, damn it!
You come up with fish, goody goo goo. I say, what the fuck? Yeah, Eddie Murphy Raw and Eddie Murphy Delirious, his concert movies were they were phenomenal sellers. I mean, Eddie Murphy, you couldn't get any better than Eddie Murphy at that time. But Beverly Hills Cop was like the star vehicle of his that really pushed him to the moon, and turned him into a leading man more so than anything he had done prior to that. It is also one of the most solid scripts I've ever seen. Like thinking back to that review, it was fucking flawless. And I'm bringing all that up because I watched this one, Axel F, and I have to tell you, I'm glad I'm on this review today as I've been on the last couple, because I always have something I'm bringing to these reviews. Like they're never like, I'm talking these movies. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of 50-50. Like this isn't A Quiet Place day one where I'm like, oh, I'm doing it because it's on the schedule. Yeah. Like I was not looking forward to Axel F at all.
I was with you. I was scared of it.
These 30 plus year sequels of shit done from when I was a kid rarely work out. Sure, for every 1 in 10, you have a Top Gun Maverick.
Right.
But the other 9 sucked diddlyuck. And I was like, they're gonna ruin this movie for me. And let me tell you how Axel F was fucking perfect. Like this was done. One of the things I've noticed about a lot of movies is that they go back to these original concepts because they're familiar. They'll draw people in, viewers, box office tickets, whatever the goal is. And it's like they don't know why the first one worked. I've said this before. They don't know why the first one worked, so they don't know what they're doing with the sequel. And then it ends up being terrible. And here, this was done with love and care, and it was casted appropriately. It hit
and with the original people. That's what made it best too, because the original people came back.
Sometimes when you have the original people, they don't know what they're fucking doing either. Like George Lucas, for example.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, shut up. So
he still doesn't know what he's doing.
Axel F really hit every pitch, every tenor, every beat absolutely perfectly. And it was funny. Compare this is going to be an odd comparison, but stay with me. Compare Axel F to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, where they are marionetting old man Ford around, throwing him hither and yon. And they're just like, well, we'll go digitally de-age him. It'll be fine. Wonderful. You have a very young-looking corpse that you're weekending at Bernie's. It looked terrible. I fucking hate the Dial of Destiny is the antithesis of Axel F. They found a way because Eddie Murphy is no spring chicken. I mean, he's not Martin Lawrence, who's 500 pounds. He looks like his character from Big Mama's House now and Bad Boys 4.
Damn,
However,
dude, just rip it apart. Yeah.
So
however, I guarantee you that was not acting when he was in the convenience store. He literally walked off fucking set and was like, "Give me a hot dog and some Skittles." They're like, just shoot this. It'll be fine. Get his fat ass moving. Let's go. Go see Bad Boys 4.
Anyway. And the pantheon of the Beverly Hills Cop movies, this is my second favorite after the first one. I like this better than 2.
It's 1, 4, 2, 3. 3 is terrible.
Yeah, the whole thing is awful.
So I can finish my point and you guys can talk. They found a way for Eddie Murphy to do action sequences appropriately for an old fucking man.
Yes.
They had him drive cars. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more exciting in a car chase than him destroying the streets of fucking Detroit like a Mad Max movie set to "The Heat Is On."
I was so happy when I heard that. When I heard that song.
So I told my son, I as soon as I was done watching Axel F, I was like, I texted Jonas and I was like, "Hey, you gotta watch Axel F. Go on Netflix now and watch this movie." He was like, "What's it about?" And I'm like, and I told him what Beverly Hills Cop was about, and he's like, "Well, shouldn't I watch the first one?" And I'm like, "You absolutely should." 20 to 30 minutes later, I called him back. I'm like, "Hey, I found the opening. I found one of the greatest car chases in cinema history. The opening to Beverly Hills Cop. Well, it's on YouTube. Watch it." He's like, "Dad, I'm like 40 minutes into this movie." I'm like, "Oh, you're watching it already? Okay. What do you think of it?" And he's talking about the first one. I'm like, "What'd you think of it?" He was like, "Any scene where Eddie Murphy is just walking around to black music is amazing." I'm like, "Good, you're a good boy." So between that and the action sequences, he absolutely loved it. I'm like, and I'll tell you, if you want to gauge for what's good or what's bad, ask a 10-year-old boy. That's my thing. Like my son really has a keen eye for what makes an entertaining movie. And both the original and Axel F, 4 stars, home run right out of the park.
I like this movie quite a bit.
Yeah. The only problem I had with this movie, I was sitting here watching it with my wife, and I watched all 3 of them. I did too. And plus, why not? Because it's Beverly Hills Cop. And be honest, I think I watched Beverly Hills Cop 1 like 3 weeks ago anyway. You know, just watching it. But the 2 things I really missed from this movie, and this is the only complaints I really have about it. One, I didn't miss, but this is just a complaint about the movie. I really don't feel Axel Foley was a guy that'd give up on his daughter and not try to do it, because everything about Axel Foley in every movie is that he never gives up. He just keeps going no matter what. And I just don't feel like that would be the way he would be as a dad. But
can I debate you on that point? Number one, I have 2 kids. I can sympathize with a father who the kids make it hard to be a parent.
Yep.
And her line in the movie about the child is always a child and the parent is always the parent. And yes, the child is always going to make life difficult, act stupid, do the wrong thing, and make the parent question, every parenting decision they've ever made and their own sanity. 100% tracked with me. Her line about his line about "I've always been a father for as long as you've been a daughter" reminds me of something I said to my kids in the last couple of days. I've never been a divorced dad before. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to need some guidance. How much do you want from me? How much do you need from me? So to counter your point, he doesn't give up on getting the bad guys, but I don't know if you've ever had to deal with a child who's making you feel like everything you do doesn't work, and everything you try to do doesn't work out, and sometimes you just give up. And like, it's giving up on being a dad is not the same as giving up on being a cop or giving up on being a case. And should you? No, absolutely not. And I'm not making the argument that I'm not saying that I am, and I shouldn't, and I don't think any father should give up on their kids. But man, does it happen, and does it occur to people, especially when things are just an uphill struggle every step of the way. So even before that conversation with my kids, when they were having the stuff between him and the daughter, who I really like Taylor Page in this. I don't remember what else. I forgot she was in Nola. I remember what else she was in. boy, was that a character who I was afraid they were going to underwrite and write shitty, and that she was going to be shrill, and she was going to emasculate him, and everything was going to be about her, and she was going to be fucking Wonder Woman. You know, modern movies.
They did emasculate him. What the fuck are you talking about? She cut him off at the knees every time he tried to do a character.
Dude, her opening
and that's
scene,
my favorite part of Beverly Hills Cop. That was my second thing I wanted to get
they
to.
drive her and her car off a fucking cliff.
Every time he did another character, like when he showed up in the suit and tie, and she's like, "You look like a card salesman." Dude, one of my favorite things of the original Beverly Hills is just like on a whim, he just changed the character. Like when he walked into the Beverly Hills
Club, the fact that she called him out on his bullshit character.
Yeah, that's what I'm with you. I'm with you that she did that. She's going to call him on his bullshit, and I really, you know, I know that you want, you know, Axel Foley in your mind is a paragon of a good man, right? Because that's what you're saying, but he's just.
Oh no! Wait! I will never in my fucking 100 years on this planet ever say anybody from the state of Michigan is a good man. Period. All right, never. That will never happen.
Let me jump in here real quick. I think it was okay that she was cutting him down about his characters and stuff, because it's kind of one of those, hey, this worked 30 years ago, it doesn't really work anymore, and we're going to call it out. G. Gordon Levitt, I got his name right, hopefully. Him doing the thing where he's just like calling me out on my manhood, and you think I'm going to give you what you want, you know, and like just immediately taking the piss out of that. I was like, that's great, because they do it once and then we move on and we're doing new things now. What I'm saying is, like, they made her a vulnerable character that needed saving on 2 or 3 different occasions, as she should have been. She's the girl in this male-oriented action movie. That's what you do. That's why we watch. And so her opening scene is she's a badass lawyer, you know, who's a busy businesswoman who don't need no man. The first thing they do is throw her out a fucking window. and she has to be rescued by the cops. It's great.
So one of the things that I really actually enjoyed about this movie is the fact that the new characters they put in there worked. You know, like Gordon Levitt worked, Kevin Bacon worked. And they didn't crowd it with all these new people. We basically had 2 people that are new.
Bacon's motivation for being a bad guy in this was awesome. He was like, I've been a cop for a while. This is the most like unforgiving, fucking thankless job ever. So yeah, I'm now trying to just make as much money as possible. I deserve it.
And Kevin Bacon also, he is still so fucking cool in everything he's in. This is no exception. Like
even for the interview for this movie, he was just like, yeah, I just took this job because hello, I get to be in a Beverly Hills Cop movie with Eddie Murphy. Yeah. And he goes, that's a bucket list item right there. I don't know if you know that, but I know that. And it's
one of the things I said about Beverly Hills Cop 3 is it seems like nobody wants to be there. Everyone's just there for the paycheck. It's the opposite of Beverly Hills Cop 3. Everyone wanted to be there. It's a weird thing, especially if you're empathic like I am, to feel the energy of the actors in a movie through the screen. When it's that good and you can feel that energy, it's palpable. It is also palpable when nobody wants to be there and you're just feeling like it's an energy suck. Yeah. That's Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah, and this one, I really kind of wish they'd retcon it, honestly. That we'd act like Beverly Hills Cop 3 doesn't exist, because it was so. I watched it the same day I watched this one, and it was just like, thankfully this watch that taste in my mouth. But I was like, what the fuck were they thinking with Beverly Hills Cop 3? Like,
it was bad. I forgot how bad it was, and I forgot how bad it was until I watched it the other day, and I was just like, why? Why does this exist? Yeah. Why?
There's a reason why we used to say on Long Road to Ruin, by the time you get to the 3rd one, you should have stopped at 2.
Yeah, but Axel F is a legacy sequel done right. You know, it has the right amount of nostalgia, has the right amount of new shit, and it's great that way. Like, to me, I'm glad this exists, and I'm glad they, you know, like you said, like Dow Destiny, they had to de-age it and shit. This one takes the appropriate age men and making you appropriate age shit. You know what I mean? Like,
100%, Chris. That's what I was saying before. Yeah. If you have an old man, you can't be throwing him hither and yon, you know, or making, you know, or look like Daniel Craig in the last James Bond movie. You're 100. Stop fighting 100 men with your bare hands or with one machine gun.
Dude,
like here, they have Eddie Murphy. they have him driving trucks. He's driving cars. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's not chasing after people half his age. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I just this did things right, and it felt like also they sort of. It's not the Beverly Hills of the 80s or the early 90s, it's the Beverly Hills of now. And having that change in the demographic and landscape really helped it bring it to 2024 where we are. And I really, really appreciated that. And Eddie Murphy, he's great. This is better than Coming to America. This is better than this is where we want Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
A thing that really got me excited about this movie and what made it really good, like right off the beginning when he's like, motherfucker. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh shit, we're getting Eddie Murphy. We're getting Foley.
100%.
We're gonna hear motherfucker a lot.
That conversation he has at the Detroit Red Wings gang with the white cop, and the white cop, and he's like, "Oh, what? I can't like hockey because I'm black." It was a very true modern moment because it totally plays with the sensitivity towards race and gender and sexuality while also making fun of it. And look, if you've ever talked to somebody who isn't white, when they're smart and they're in the know, they'll fuck with you about it, and they know that they have a leg up on you, and it's just like you just sort of accept that, like, yeah, all right, you win this round. And they totally do that at the beginning of the movie, and it was like, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. It's hilarious.
That's exactly how Axel would have acted. He has that character down. Eddie Murphy has Axel Foley down, and it's not that Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop 3 who's no fun at all. This is Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, where he's fun. It's a great to look at, and he's sleek and he's cool. This is exactly Eddie Murphy.
I was so afraid we were gonna get the wash down, oh my gosh, is this PG-13? I did not think we were gonna get this Eddie Murphy. I loved it. I'll watch it again right now if somebody came over. And
like I said, I told my son, I said, go get your stepbrother and go watch Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. I highly recommend. So a little ways back, Jonah was like, I want you to show me all the good movies. I'm like, well, buckle in. I got 2 fucking movies to show you from the 80s and 90s. And I would throw that in there too. I would absolutely, this is one I would absolutely, I was recommending this to people at work, and I don't talk to people at work about movies anymore because I get tired of hearing, I don't watch movies. I don't know what movies are. What's a movie? And everyone's from fucking Belarus where they don't have culture. So like, what do you got, like a Belarusian audience? But this one, I was like, I'm gonna take the step to actually talk to my coworkers. I know you idiots have Netflix. You're mostly girls. You'll watch documentaries about killing men. I get it. Turn off the documentaries about killing men and watch Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
So I have three things that I do when it comes to figuring out how I should recommend a movie. Do I recommend my friends, or I recommend to my in-laws, or do I recommend to anyone? And this movie, I recommend it to anyone and everyone.
100%.
That changes.
That's a fun movie. That's a fun movie. All right, Chris, let's get started. What's your rating?
My rating on this is a 4.2. Actually, I really fucking enjoyed Axel F quite a bit. It's solid. It's better than 1. I mean, it's better than 2. I mean, it's the best of them. And to have that is very fucking rare. So I want to give Beverly Hills Cop all the love we can get, because it's a fantastic. In the world of legacy sequels, there is shit, and then there's Axel F. So
there's shit, and then there's Axel.
Neil, what's your score on this?
Year, when we do our top 10 and worst 5 and all of that, right now this is my top 5. It was that good. That speaks more of how horrible movies have been this year so far.
Oh my god, I know.
But
we got plenty of that to talk about here soon. Anyway,
fuck you, Neil. Oh god.
Oh my god, I'm so gonna tear this movie apart. So anyway, what's your rating, 1 through 5? Mark,
I would give it an A of 10.
Okay, works.
An 8 out of 10. We gotta breathalyze the guests. All right, we gotta breathalyze the guests before they come on here. All right, I'm sick of this shit.
I give it 9 monkeys in a barrel.
Yeah,
9 monkeys in a barrel. All right. Chris, I'm with you. I'm gonna go one above just because it actually it surprised the shit out of me. Like from that beginning, like the heat is on, and then all of a sudden he's like, motherfucker. And like literally when it comes to that part, it surprised me so much. It made me so happy. I was smiling they could have fucking ruined it from the next 20 minutes and I wouldn't even care. And I was still smiling like I gotta hear Eddie Murphy one time say, motherfucker, like so it's like. But I'm giving it a 4.3. I liked it. I loved it. I want some more of it. I tried so hard. You can't get nothing.
All right, Neil. Let's put the Rotten Tomatoes game. What is the audience score for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F?
They definitely gave it an 88%.
79%.
89?
Really?
79.
Oh, well, fuck them in the goat ass.
Okay, what is the critic score for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F?
Probably -5 because critics hate anything good. Let's go. We'll go 83.
65%.
I knew it was going to be in the 60s.
Yeah,
I should have said 60s.
I would say
I'm doing the other thing, and I'm already my mind's already.
For old heads like us, yeah, it was perfect. And for people who know movies, this is structurally sound. It's darn near perfect. However, I can see this missing with an audience of young morons. Because they don't get this kind of genre. They don't get this thing. They're not educated on these kinds of movies. And so for some of this, it's going to be a miss because they were not brought up in the culture that would appreciate a movie like this. And as for critics, I don't know, critics probably love Kinds of Kindness, but didn't love this for all the reasons people go into movie criticism, where they're looking for the most delectable fruit on the most, ripe tree. And it's like sometimes you can have a perfect movie that's also just dumb fun. That's the secret.
Yeah, Chris consensus is on this. Content to let a very game Eddie Murphy bring all the heat. The fourth Beverly Hills Cop goes to nostalgia, but marks a welcome return for Axel Foley. That sounds like a good review, if you ask me. This is I'll read a bad review and a good review. This is from Stephen Propke, Third Coast Review. Says, first time feature director Mark Molloy does a serviceable job keeping Axel F moving and allowing Eddie Murphy enough room to improvise, but still gives a 1.5 out of 4. And this is from Alan Almacar of the MacGuffin. He says, I've always been wary of legacy sequels as the worst of them rely too heavily on nostalgia, as opposed to telling a good story. Fortunately for us, this does a better job of balancing the two sides. Yeah, this is a legacy sequel that works, and I'm glad we're all the better for seeing it.
Awesome.
All right, read for news, or are you still pulling stuff up? Neil.
I'm not.
We've lost Neil.
Motherfucker.
We've lost Neil to the portal.
I know he's so upset with. You ready for me to put the? Oh fuck, man!
This is the movies that don't suck. It's over the news. Chris is fucking going crazy today because I'm fucking with him hardcore, and it's awesome.
I know what you got for
All
us.
right, so the Final Destination. I was already talking. Are you off? What's going on here?
You're off. You're like fucking like you're flipping in and out, and you're.
Because I pulled up everything. All right. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll be back.
You hear no clipping the whole time, right? Like he's just like going in and out. Is it just me, or is this worse?
Yeah, it's been kind of a botchy sound. How are you, Chris?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm at the girlfriend's house for the week. It's been great so far.
Oh, good. Neil, come back. Come back. I know you're back now.
Did he just leave the podcast entirely?
He might have.
Talk to an empty chair.
He's gonna talk.
I could do another 20 minutes on fucking Beverly Hills Cop. To be honest with you.
Yeah, he's not gonna want to talk Kinds of Kindness because he didn't like it. Apparently, either that he's trying to upset me, which is always the case with Neil. He's always trying to upset me. I don't know what the fuck he's doing right now.
It's so funny. When I was watching Kinds of Kindness last night, I was thinking about this podcast. I was like, this is going to be another Beau is Afraid situation where Neil's going to come on loaded for bear, ready to kill you. Because he's like, why do you make me watch these movies? I clearly have an aesthetic I like.
Yeah. I have things to say about Kinds of Kindness. Some of them kind, some of them not as kind, some of them not as kind, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But
Wait
Sorry, I
for
had
the
to take a
review
dump.
segment. Oh, perfect.
All right, Neil, we're ready for news.
All right, ready for the news.
Mhm.
Final Destination. Okay, well, let's go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, just in case you want to cut some
Yeah.
of that bullshit you guys were talking. I don't know what the hell you guys were talking, but it was weird. All right, Final Destination creator is set to put a new spin on the classic urban legend. That's right. Jeffrey Reddick, creator of Final Destination, is working on a new spin of the urban legend of Bloody Mary.
Ugh.
I'm surprised it hasn't made again. Like it's fertile
Like-
ground for shitty remakes, you know?
So, like, literally, what is it going to be? Is it going to be like, don't we have that? Isn't it called Candyman?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just throwing that out there. I think Candyman already
Real quick,
exists.
is Blumhouse making it? that's what I'm asking, because they've remade some shit over the past couple years, and you know,
It's going to be based on the New York Times best-selling book Mary. The Summoning follows a group of teenage girls who discover ancient spells and face the consequences.
I feel like I've seen this movie before. Honestly,
I feel like good. The only movie I want to know, the only Bloody Mary movie I want is where did the drink Bloody Mary come from?
you want the
I
want the origin story of that.
God damn, you beat me to it. I was like, I want the origin story of the Bloody Mary drink. And it's got to be like something like really silly, almost like Family Guy, or like a guy walks in and he's got like like vodka and he's got like tomato juice. It's like, oh, slip and fall.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
oh,
your
tomato
peanut butter got on my jelly. Your
God
jelly
damn it,
got on my
I was totally thinking that too.
Isn't it crazy that fucking the Jerry Seinfeld made a movie about fucking Pop-Tarts unfrosted? Is that I'm like, what is
And
going
it's really
on?
funny.
I bet.
Yeah,
really
I'm
funny.
you
That's
guys
the
haven't
best part.
talked about that on here yet. Since you like do one streaming movie and one like normal movie, one theater movie.
Yeah, we haven't done unfrosted.
Chris hates Jerry Seinfeld, so
I don't hate Jerry Seinfeld, dude, at all.
You made it very clear you did not want to do that
Neil,
movie.
what the
I was
fuck
like,
is your
let's do
problem?
the fucking movie. And
You
you're
know,
like,
you weren't.
no,
Neil,
let's
we
do
had
this
zero
shitty movie
discussion about it.
What was that movie you made me do that was like the shittiest movie ever last week?
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Oh my god.
Dude, that was fun to fuck on the
There's
shit on.
so many movies I've missed this year because of injuries. And you're like, that's the movie we need to watch. Don't not catch up.
All
on
right,
me.
you know what? I'm gonna step in here and protect Chris from your beating. Chris, you can come on triple feature. We'll do Unfrosted and 2 other streaming movies, and I'll protect you, friend.
Okay, I love
We'll
you.
talk about it.
Thank-
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, sorry, that was a trigger warning. Anyway,
Yeah, that.
all right. Okay, now what were we going to talk about? Oh, yeah. November 14th, 2025, we're finally getting Now You See Me Part 3 will be coming out. That'll be awesome.
So, I haven't seen either of the first ones, like, so if we do,
Why the
if we
fuck,
talk
dude?
about
It's
it,
like Ocean's 11, but with better actors. But anyway.
I gotta know. It's just like
But
when
anyway.
we do these sequels for movies, I am completely set to go back and rewatch or watch the ones I haven't seen. So that's a good, day for me. So
There's nothing better than watching Daniel Radcliffe freaking roofie a whole group of people and then make out with them in photographs. It's awesome. You gotta go see Now You
That
See Me.
sounds amazing.
Anyway.
What movie is this?
Now
You See Me Too. That was part 2. Now You See Me Too.
Okay.
He's the bad guy. He's a villain in that one. It's awesome. He's like a Bond villain. Judge Mary Marlowe Summer rejects defense motion to dismiss charges in the Alec Baldwin trial. That's right. He's still going up for manslaughter.
Yeah, I have a friend. I have a friend who's convinced he's going to prison for it. Like convinced. So I don't
The trial is set as of Monday. It starts in Santa Fe, New Mexico, so on July 9th. So Alec Baldwin might be going to jail.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
You can go right. You can go with Jonathan Majors.
So a guy who's famous for writing but never writes is about to take on the Elden Ring adaptation. That's right. George R.R. Martin is about to now do an adaptation of the Elden Ring to become to television for films and TV. They haven't specified what yet.
That is interesting. So I have Elden Ring and I played, I don't know, 30 minutes of it. But I have friends who love Elden Ring and
right.
It seems right up his alley, honestly. It's like something you can do easy.
I mean, does he even write anymore? Because hasn't he been writing the last book for the Game of Thrones universe for like 20 years now?
I don't know if he's just in his overall
Roughly
streak.
20 years, yes.
Whatever. Metal Gear Solid live action. Metal Gear Solid live action movie is now in development. The script has been written by Derek Connolly, aiming for a terrific adaptation through the Oscar. If you don't know this, Oscar Isaac is the one that is going to be playing Solid Snake at this point.
Until this starts filming, I'm not convinced it's even happening. Like we've been talking about
I
Metal Gear
know.
Solid movies for the past 20 years, you know, and it's just Solid. It's just Snake whisking Solid Snake, and so Snake whisking the same like fucking thing. But yeah, until it's done filming, I'm not convinced it's happening.
The same stunt team that worked on John Wick is now going to be working on Highlander with Henry Cavill. So now the same people that did that action is going to be doing that action. So that we're going to get that ass with that sword, going to be doing some shit. It's going to be great, right?
Right, Neil?
No.
Sure.
Hey, dude, it was July 4th week. There's not many freaking news things out there. Right? I'm trying really hard, guys. Talking about a movie
Chris,
that's...
hang on one second. Chris, let's keep no-selling this for Neil for him fucking with you, okay?
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Cool. Totally. There is a movie that's been in limbo forever that has finally got its release date, March 21st, 2025. I know Mark is really looking forward to it. It is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs will be finally the live action that they filmed 6 years ago.
Yeah,
7 years ago.
And they've had and then reshot almost as many times as they've had to reshoot Captain America 4.
Exactly.
So who's in it, Neil? Who's in that movie?
It's Rachel, like, what is her name? Rachel Ziegler?
Rachel Hot Button Ziegler. Rachel had to go to a concentration camp to learn how to talk to the press instead of what she was. Rachel Ziegler got reconditioned by Disney.
Gal Gadot is the evil queen, and the director is Mark Webb from Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay, you want my reaction to the story? Gal Gadot can't act. How about that? Gal Gadot had one good character, one Wonder Woman, and it was because basically
Death of the Nile.
All they wanted her to do was look like a fucking Amazon, be kick-ass, and and kind of whisper, drone her dialogue. Everything else she's in, she's terrible. She's either a hot-looking woman, hot-looking Amazonian woman, or she's nothing.
No, Death of the Nile. That I'd have to. Death of the Nile would be the one that she was good into.
Where she played Wonder Woman in a fancy dress. Okay, she's a terrible actress. She has one character, and when she does that character, she does the character well.
So we all survived.
Your feedback on the show is going to be, who's the guy that just hates women? Oh, that's Mark. He doesn't hate women at all.
Mark. That's just Mark. I mean, the 32 people watching right now, I'm sure some of them
they're all like, let him be the editor. What the fuck with this guy?
All right. We survived it. We all survived Barbieheimer. But are we ready for Wickadator?
See, I've heard it's moaned or moned. Moned?
No. The new one is now Wickadator.
Wickadator?
The same day that Gladiator 2 is being released is the same day that Wicked is being released.
Did they move the date? Did they move the date from Thanksgiving week? Because it was supposed to be.
Yes. Originally, both Gladiator 2 were they were going to be on the 27th, and they moved it to the 22nd.
I gotta buy my whole calendar now. God damn it!
So it's Wicked and Gladiator 2, and the two of them now they want people to go as a double feature, just like they did.
No. When it's they people now, Barbenheimer was a community grown thing. Is this gonna be who said that they want to do Wickinator? Like who's saying?
I'm reading it off a fucking website, Chris. Who do you think made it?
Will you calm the fuck down now? I think you need to calm down.
So a couple of things. One, when the Barbenheimer thing happened, it was Chris Nolan
got a big money contract from Universal after there was like a bidding war for him when he left Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Warner Brothers had been working on Barbie since roughly the year of the flood. And it got to a point where they both booked the same day in July, and they played a game of chicken. They were like, neither studio was willing to move their date. They were like, there's enough people out there who want to go, who may or may not want to go see this Christopher Nolan atomic bomb movie. They're not girls. No girls going to see that. So all the girls will go see Barbie, which fine, we're not moving. And Universal was like, we paid the gross national product of Luxembourg for fucking Chris Nolan. We're not moving. And that became the Barbenheimer thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that was. It was two studios in a fucking in a game of gay chicken, that just refused to move off that date. You don't need to continue. It was a once in a while thing that happens. You don't need to try to artificially recreate the Barbenheimer experience by just putting two big movies on the same day. I said this when somebody mentioned it to me about the whole Wicked Moana thing. It's like, that's the same fucking audience. It's kids and families and women. It's like, what? Like, who cares? And now they're putting it up against Gladiator. Other than fucking with my podcast calendar, why would you do this?
So I saw Wicked twice in person. The first time I was fucking drunk, spending 3/4 of it, 3/4 of it in the bathroom, trying not to throw up.
I have seen the Broadway musical Wicked. I've also read the book because I do. Because before I determined books were for burning, I actually I read a fair amount of fantasy, and the Wicked book is great. The musical, other than the one stupid George Bush joke that was unnecessary, also very, very good. I think the movie will do fine. It just doesn't need to be on the same fucking day as Gladiator.
Yeah, I think you're mute, by the way. We can't hear you. You're mute.
Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, Neil, we
Either
can't
that
hear
or
you.
he's doing a De Niro impression.
I am mute. Yeah, I had to talk to Lucy, and I muted my mic. And I didn't even realize. I had to talk to that thing. Anyway,
I was like, why are we not getting interrupted? Neil's down there.
But definitely. All right. So the Community movie is going to be coming out at the end of 2025. Is now the set date. They said so. Can't wait for that. As long as Chevy Chase is nowhere near it, that'll be awesome. And last but not least, the best story of the day, guys. Have you ever wanted to eat Buffalo Wild Wings for a whole decade?
I don't want to eat Buffalo Wild Wings at all. It's gross. It's almost as bad as Chick-fil-A or PDQ.
Well, the movie that we're covering next
There
week,
went our audience. That's going to be the thing that I offended people with.
The movie we're reviewing next week. The movie that we're reviewing next week, Jackpot, with John Cena and Awkwafina.
Are we what?
The movie we're covering next week. It's John Cena. Anytime a John Cena movie comes,
where is it? Where is it going to be at? It's not theaters.
I don't know. You look it up, man. That's what
All
they're
right,
right, for. But anyway, John Cena and Awkwafina star in an action movie, Jackpot, about a deadly lottery. A contest offers $35,000 prize package, including a gold bar, cash, and a decade free of Buffalo Wild Wings.
That sounds like fucking torture.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
That's by the way, Neil, it's gonna be on Amazon Prime on the 15th.
Yeah, I know it's in August. I was just kidding.
So I have an announcement right here, right now.
No, my God, dude, I'm sorry. Are you pregnant?
Yeah, but also,
is it mine?
So they moved Wicked to the 22nd. I just verified that it's on the Wikipedia page. You're not wrong. But I said, fuck it. I'm still doing Gladiator 2 on November 25th. And then because Moana comes out on the 27th, which is when Wicked was supposed to come out, I'm still doing that on December 2nd. And fuck this, peoples. I'm going to do Wicked on December 9th. I'm going to wait 2 weeks to do Wicked. How about that? Now who's in charge?
Yeah, fuckers.
Yeah, bitches. And that's
yeah. You can't tell me when to podcast and see a movie. God fucking damn it.
And with that, let's talk kindness.
That was The Movies That Don't Suck and Some of the News. There wasn't shit to say because it's July 4th weekend and everybody was getting drunk and blowing up the arms of every redneck they could find.
Kinds of Kindness, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, written by Yorgos, and Ephraim Philippou. This stars Emma Stone as 3 people.
You are not doing this for the sake of art. You are doing this because you want to feel relevant again.
Jesse Plemons as 3 people.
What's your deal? Where are you from?
Also, Willem Dafoe as through the three people,
Barnes believes in what he's doing.
and Margaret Walley as three people. That's not Margaret Walley. Sorry, guys.
I'm just taking my own stuff.
Also, this stars also Hong Chau's people, and and Yorgos Stephanikos as a couple people. Mamadou Athie shows up in this as well. Neil, why don't you go ahead and read the storyline for Kinds of Kindness? And that word that you says, it's triptych fable. Triptych, just so you know.
I went to the swinger party house not so long ago and I tripped over a triptych.
Neil, take the dude off. Let's stop this movie.
That's Joe Henry. Say his name.
I know who it is. All right. So I was said this on the podcast, but Neil was like, "Do you believe Joe Hendry?" I said, I'm ambivalent on Joe Hendry.
Give a fuck less about Joe Henry.
Neil, what's the storyline for Kinds of Kindness?
A triptych fable following a man without choice who tries to take control of his own life. A policeman who's alarmed that his wife, who was missing at sea, has returned and seems a little bit different. And a woman determined to find a specific someone with a special ability who is destined to become a protagonist spiritual leader.
So this movie itself, I'm going to start out with it real quick. So just so you know, this is a movie that is in the AMC. That's 2.5 hours long. That is, close to 3 hours long, and it's written by Yorgos Lanthimos. And this is, I can see this at AMC. Poor Things was, I guess, the Yorgos's most mainstream movie, and then he went the other way. As in alienated people who saw that and made this movie.
I got too much attention with Poor Things. I got too many awards.
He's like,
people
people
like my movies. I can't have this.
They're like, he was like, hey man, what can I do to fuck my reputation? I know, I can make a shitty version of Room 104, or I can make a crappy version of Black Mirror, or I can make a shitty version of Twilight Zone.
Neil, just so you know, this is not going to be the thing that sinks his reputation. It's not. I
like his other movies. This movie just was like boring, useless, and didn't mean anything.
He's got a reputation for being inaccessible. Have you seen The Lobster? It's terrible. Poor Things was the most accessible thing he's ever done, and I don't think he meant to do it. I don't think he meant for Poor Things to be as accessible or as award-winning as it was, and then I think he did this as sort of a palate cleanser.
So you guys, I'm guessing you guys didn't like this. I mostly like this than don't. There's some great scenes. There's some things that aren't so great. It's really uneven when it comes to how good each little short is. But for the most part, I thought that Jesse Plemons in this whole thing was fantastic. He's so good in it.
This is a very well acted piece. Mm-hmm. So this is one of those movies where I can tell you, it's kind of like The Bike Riders, where I can tell you all of the individual craft elements are very well done. It really doesn't matter whether or not I liked it or was entertained by it. You know, movie criticism should be about, do the craft elements work, not your personal opinion. Your personal opinion can play a role in your criticism, but it shouldn't be what a lot of professional movie reviewers think it is, which is their personal opinion. This is not an editorial. Mm-hmm. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Kinds of Kindness, these are interestingly written shorts, like little short films. These are extremely well acted.
Oh god!
This is yet another. I was thinking a lot about Wes Anderson while I watched this, because this is
strangely enough, right? Yeah. It was
another movie that makes me hate white people. I just like, what the fuck? It's just like, it's one of those where I know people like this exist, but it kind of feels like they're on an alien world where there is no soul.
So this is very Yorgos like centric. You've seen Dogtooth or Lobster or Killing a Sacred Deer. This is what I was like. So with the favorite, he did the favorite and Poor Things, which weren't Yorgos centric movies, even though he directed them. And then he did this one. I'm like, oh, this is what I remember. I remember the stilted dialogue, the drollness of it, and like that's his style. And I don't fault him for having a style.
You know what also reminded me of? As far as directors go, what's his fucking name? Jim Jarmusch.
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah.
a very
Oh man, I
Jim
thought
Jarmusch
you
style
said
movie.
you're gonna say Bob Coldcat.
No,
He's a great director. What are you talking about? God
Okay,
bless
Goldwyn?
America. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man! Come on.
I
That's a fucking great movie.
can only remember his stand-up.
Shut up.
My wife is so bad.
All right, I'll give you my real opinion about this. It was good for the first hour. And then after that, it was just so slow and boring. Like people left the theater.
Oh yeah.
People actually
I
got
thought
up
we had a
and
couple leave
left.
my showing.
Like they left the theater. I've never seen anybody leave a theater except for Poor Things. Poor Things.
Yeah,
was the other thing.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I saw that Poor
that
Things
was
too.
because they didn't realize what that was. And then it's like, when the
Yorgos
fucking got
Lanthimos
started,
making
it was
movies that are an endurance test, if nothing else.
I actually enjoyed my time seeing this. But Neil, keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah. But if each segment was just a little shorter, if they could have got this in around the 2-hour mark, I think this would have been better for me. But it just felt so long and so boring. And I mean, the best part of it was the acting. I'm gonna go with the acting, and it was all Defoe. All Defoe. Every time he was on the screen,
Emma Stone, especially in that third sketch, is really, really good.
No, here's the thing I like about
Emma in the third one is good,
Yeah.
but Defoe, every time he was on the screen, he was like what? He was a cruel fucking Bond villain almost, and then he was like a sex symbol in another one, and then he's like
a dad in one of them. Yeah.
A guy with daddy issues, the.
But I want to mention.
Good job. Go ahead.
Here's what I want to mention this real quick before we move on this. So I want to mention the relationship that Yorgos has with Emma. I love that Emma's doing weird shit like this. I'm so happy that she's going crazy with Nathan Fielder.
I know. I miss Easy A, man.
I don't miss this at all. I think I love that Emma's doing this weird shit. I want her to continue the weird shit. She's doing this, and then that thing with Nathan Fielder. I forget what it's called, but she's doing another movie with Yorgos right now. They were talking about it in the interview I listened to last night.
She needs to go back and do more stuff with Seth Rogen, man. I need another super bad.
No, I am totally fine with her doing weird shit. I want her to do more weird shit because she's fearless in this, and Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe, we're all fantastic in this. As acting,
no, she needs to be in movie 43 right now. On a movie 44, and I want it right now with her.
I'll see you guys later.
So here's my question. I'm gonna direct this to Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Because now I'm hosting your show. I'm taking over. I'm just kidding.
Hey, wait. What was that? What was that? But anyway,
bring it back, Neil. Bring it back.
No, I deserve that. Bad mark. But seriously, Chris. Let's leave me alone this for a minute.
Okay.
Did you think that Yorgos Lanthimos was trying to make a statement about sexual fluidity? Because that's all I got from this movie was that, and I don't quite know what he was getting at. That just seemed to be the whole point of Kinds of Kindness. It's just we're too married to sexual norms, gender norms, and that I want to kind of explore a world where none of that exists. There are no preconceived notions. There are no prejudices. We're just in this weird world where sexual structures just don't exist, and we are what we are. And I'm like, okay, I get that. That's kind of feels like what you're trying to get at least with 2 out of 3 of these. And then, but what exactly? So, is your point that if you remove sexual structures from everyday living in society, that
okay,
so
I'm
go ahead.
I'm gonna do a Reddit thing on this. I'm not giving anything away by saying what I think RMF means, because the 3 tales to mention RMF is just dude, but it's interesting. I heard this and I think it would kind of make sense. So the thing that would tie these 3 together is, for me, RMF stands for redemption, manipulation, and faith. And all these you can twist around to make work, right? For the 3 things. And I didn't really get a explicitly sexual fluid moment for these three things. But though I think that's really interesting to look at because I'm sure you're the type director you ask him what it's about, and you're like, "What does it mean to you, man?" That's what it means, right? So
that's the thing. It's like Poor Things was about finding your sexual freedom, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
That's what he was going for with Poor Things. We talked,
and that was super easy to see. And this one, it's not
like
easy to see at all.
Dummies. Here, I'm not sure. I'm going to let you finish your point. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. It's there. You just acknowledge that it's there. It's present. I don't know what the fuck he's saying about it, though.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if he has. You're right. Like it could be one of those things that he doesn't have much to say. He's just doing his Yorgos thing, which is weirding you the fuck out. Because there were several times in this.
He might not have an editorial point of view. He might just be presenting it, and you're right. It might just be one of those whatever you make of this lack of sexually structured world what you want of it. I just wanted to show you what the world would look like if we took it away. Like
I want to mention there are very funny parts of this movie. People there were
very funny.
Yeah, very funny parts, and there was people laughing out loud, or people that didn't want to laugh, but they did.
Yeah, like there's this part where this girl goes through a windshield, totally fucking laughed my ass off. I was just like,
I generally speaking laugh when women go through windshields to begin with.
Oh my god! But
he's like really smart, really hateful.
All right, can I actually have a talk about this movie for a second? Because like,
you
got
sure?
Like 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, cool. That's all right. I'll just sit here on my own podcast and not like.
No, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's only been 17 minutes, but that's okay.
506,000 minutes.
All right. I did like the way the structure of the film. I did like the way that goes. I love a good like Twilight Zone kind of movie. I'm a huge Twilight Zone guy. I love the stuff like that. The thing that just I don't know if it's like the order of the movie or the feel of the movie, but like something of it just didn't make me like sit well. And I couldn't get comfortable watching it. And I tried so hard, especially when I really love the third act. I really love like
this movie is like the living embodiment of when when a sexual predator has to introduce himself to the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yes, I would go.
Hi, I'm Chester, and I just need to tell you that I've been in prison for sexually molesting kids.
I live there. We said didn't sit right. That is exactly a Yorgos movie. Yeah, if you're gonna feel cringy and kind of that is.
Thank you for letting me live here. Go away, your gross.
I like the feeling of cringing. I just didn't have any like. There's no draw to it. Like there's no like nothing of the movie made me feel like I need to even see this story. Like it didn't have no urgency to it. Didn't have like the way the storytelling was just didn't make me feel like that they actually wanted to tell me this story. It made me feel like I was watching something that nobody wants to talk about ever. And I think that's kind of where this movie will go in history. Like it'll just go where nobody will talk about it ever.
I disagree. I disagree. By the way, I think that people will talk about it.
I like the first one, and I like the story of this guy who gives his entire life. He's clearly like submissive to this dominant person, and when he's excised from this small community, does everything in his power, including destroy his own soul, in order to get back and find that love in this throuple. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the last one where, let's acknowledge that there's a degree of supernaturalness that exists, and some people can bring back the dead bring back the dead. Fine. And again, we have this person who is excised from the community through a rape, and has to like find her way back and be redeemed. I'm fine with all that. I'm not fine with the middle one, which I feel like didn't really fit, where it's not only supernatural, but now there's aliens, and she, and Emma Stone, did a body snatcher thing, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? Like, honestly, like, give me 2 hours of just the first and the third one, and I'm fine with this movie. That second one,
that second one was just movie. It was just like I was enjoying the first one. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed the first story, but then the second one came on, and I was just that's where I think I lost the feeling of the disconnect.
I mean, who doesn't want to see Willem Dafoe fuck Jesse Plemons? I did after that. I mean, I don't know.
Sploosh, man, sploosh. But so here's
feel uncomfortable.
So the thing is about they started the movie out with the with the best short first, which probably wasn't I would have done it differently, but the best short is the first one. I could have seen that actually turn into a full feature with more backstory in that one.
But I got a question. Can you call it a short when it's like 45 minutes each one? That's not a short, dude. That's a whole fucking movie.
Long.
I've seen movies that were shorter than that at goddamn Panic Fest. And they're called full-length features.
So this thing is totally uneven. It's uncomfortable, but I do think that I'm glad it exists. I really am glad that I could see this in a mainstream theater, and they gave Yorgos something to make it. I appreciate what he's doing a lot with this. It's not a perfect movie, but I love that it exists. Honestly,
I think okay. I love the idea of it. I love the way it was going, and I love movies that give you the three different different like
anthology
stories
movies,
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just don't think this was good done well. I mean, the acting was good. That's what I got, but like, just the writing just seemed like
okay.
Something was off.
I promise I won't exclude Neil from this, but I am curious because I would bet money that Chris knows what I'm talking about, but I'm not entirely sure about Neil. This movie reminded me of Waking Life.
Oh yeah,
Neil knows Waking Life. Yeah.
Scanner Darkly, Waking Life, anything that they animate over. Come on, dude. Do you see what I read? Anything that's animated, I fucking watch.
This wasn't quite as talky as Waking Life, which is all talking and rotoscope, but like it had that sort of waxing philosophical for the sake of doing so feeling to it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but what are you saying with this movie? And I guess I'm married to the idea that you have to say something. Something I talk about all the time. Like Robert and I have gotten into fist fights over certain movies where like Halloween Kills, where I was like, yeah, it's a dumb movie, it's not well made, but at least it had something to say. And I'd rather a movie say something than nothing. This is like the opposite of Halloween Kills, where it's like, I don't think it's saying anything. It's just really well made.
To me, this is a lot of people call it
awesome. I did not think Halloween Kills, the opposite of Halloween Kills, was how this movie reviewed.
So actually, I
am so glad I am here for this.
I heard that something interesting someone called this anti-Wes Anderson. Like in that, which is this is free of whimsy, but it's also it's heartless, which is what Yorgos is known for. Like people are like, this is something new, and it is something new, but to me, it's pretty on par for the movies he makes.
I was gonna say it's very Jim Jarmusch and then Wes Anderson. We're like all three of them seem like they hate white people, but like in different ways. Where like you're right, Wes Anderson hates white people with whimsy. Jim Jarmusch hates white people in the way that a scientist might hate the experiment that they're working on, and Yorgos seems to just like, I don't know, like it's like he hates white people, but he doesn't quite know why. Like I don't know what his problem is.
But I mean, I didn't get to hate white people in this one, but I'm sure, of course, horrible things happen to white people in all those movies for sure. But
they certainly did, Ollie.
But I
feel this movie is like the photo that I just put up in the corner. Like, I feel like it's supposed to be whimsical, but at the same time, it makes people feel uncomfortable.
And I think that did definitely makes you feel uncomfortable. I had a friend next to me who there's one scene where he was literally like that. And I remember when I said the same thing happened to Lobster to a stranger who sat right next to me who was making awful noises near the end of the Lobster, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I remember a Yorgos movie being. And I can tell this is a very divisive movie. People hate it. Some people love it too much. And I'm actually I like it more than I dislike it. But like when we talk about the things, it's really fucking long. There are things that meander, and there's scenes that just didn't fucking need to be there at all. Like it didn't add on to the story. So in the second story is to put that the best one first was, I mean, it made people stay longer than they should have, maybe, if they were going to walk out.
I don't know if the first one was the best one. I mean, maybe by a degree or so, but not wildly the best. The third one, I think, definitely had its merits. Like, she gets drugged, raped, goes back to her community in the third one. She is soundly rejected. And then she goes out looking for a way back in. She finds it. I don't quite remember how it ends. I know she does the stupid dance during the credits.
Which is great.
But how does the third one end? Does the chick end up living, or I know she doesn't make it back to the community.
It was unclear. But there's also a mid-credit scene if you guys stayed for that, which I did.
Yeah, I stayed for
one guy eating at the hot dog shack.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. Why does that matter?
I don't know.
It didn't matter. I was like,
I kind of walked out. I was like,
I always read to see if there's a post-credit scene on every fucking movie before I go see it, because who knows what has a post-credit like. And I was like, okay, it says there's a mid-credit scene, and that happens, and I'm like, you mean that was 2 hours and 40 minutes of my life that I can't get back.
That was the way to
watch a guy eat a fucking hot dog.
There was a guy that was the way to have RMF in every segment, because he was in the first one as the guy that was supposed to run over. The second one, he was the guy who was flying the airplane, and that was the third one, eating a sandwich.
Wait, sir, are you explaining the movie I just watched?
I'm just telling you why he's in it. I was just telling you why he's in it.
I know why he was in it. I got the idea. I got the feel. I got exactly what it was supposed to do. I just didn't give a shit. It was just like, okay, cool. Yeah, okay. I'm supposed to feel this here. Awesome. like I got that point. It was just like I totally have to agree with Mark with the whole Halloween Kills thing. I think that's the best reference you can possibly go. At this point, I just say cut it. We're done.
Neil, what's your score on this?
I'll give it a 3.3. I'll give it. I love the acting. I did love the scenery and stuff like that. I'm glad I got a movie I can fall asleep to that comes out in like 2 months. It'll be great. It'll be awesome.
Okay.
I'll put it on the TV. I'm sure I'm gonna fall asleep to this movie many times. But besides that,
Mark, where are you?
I give it a pass on a pass-fail scale.
Okay, passes. Okay. That works. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to study scales and come up with a different one for every time you guys bring me on. I'm never.
I love that. I love it. My score in this is a 4.
What?
Yeah, it's a 4 for me. I found a lot to like about this. I'm a big fan. I mean, I really love Yorgos Lanthimos, but again, it's not for everyone. And I had friends tell me this was brilliant. It's not brilliant, but it's good. And that's where I'm with the Kinds of Kindness. Neil, I'm on RottenTomatoes.com. What is that audience score for Kinds of Kindness?
38.
51%.
What?
Yeah, that's
51. Okay, I thought it'd go less than 50, because like literally, because it's it's how it's summer season and people walked in. Like, I mean, seriously, I saw people walk out of this theater. I really haven't seen that for movies, man.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go.
It was 30 minutes in. Like it wasn't just like they were 30 minutes in. They're just like, we're done.
It's gonna make me uncomfortable. Neil, what is the correct score for Kinds of Kindness?
91.
73%, which is probably what I expected.
Yeah, I was trying to. I thought it would be like the way opposite on that.
So the critics' consensus is a cold-hearted triptych brimming with caustic wit. Kinds of Kindness is Yorgos Lanthimos as most misanthropic and bitingly funny. Yeah, and he hates people for sure.
Only white people. Only white people.
And according to Neil, his audience. So
Hey,
audience.
Us white people have a hero, and we love him because if you say his name, he appears.
Okay. So I'm going to read a bad review and a good review. This is from Tina Katos of Beyond the Cinerama Dome. She says, even with the aspects that could have benefited from tightening up, there's still something exciting about film, like Kinds of Kindness being heavily promoted and available to catch movie theater goers, which I basically said earlier. And this is from Edwin Arden of Ashland. He says, Lanthimos is back to his old tricks, and we fellow sickos are the better for it. I'm not the type of person that you should watch a fucked up movies. You're a sicko. but maybe. And then Marco one, I was trying to find fat guy at the movies. I couldn't find his review for this one.
Was
I
this
know.
too much movie for Kevin Carr, fat guy at the movies?
Yeah, Neil. There's a I don't Neil doesn't get the Rotten Tomatoes that much, but there's a guy who gives his reviews and his fat guy at the movies, and I think that Mark and him
I know
have
who he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Robert,
tried-
a couple
I
years
just
ago,
tried to
Robert and I
say-
picked a fight with it. A couple years ago, Robert Winfrey and I picked a fight with him on Damn You Hollywood, and we have never let up. Never.
Yeah.
I want to see that cage match, honestly, between Mark and that guy at the movies.
Yes.
It's less of a,
Hell in
it's
a
less of a
cell.
cage match,
Mark
and more of that
Roderick
curb
versus-
stomp scene from American History X.
All right, but yeah, that was Kinds of Kindness, guys. If you guys want to, first one's available on Netflix, easy to watch, and it's a good one. And then you can go to the theaters and spend 2 hours or 45 minutes feeling uncomfortable. You can go see Kinds of Kindness.
Yeah, Kinds of Kindness, not a movie to bring a girl to.
Oh yeah.
No, definitely
I saw a row of dudes get in, and they were just like, and that I could tell they were film chat, so they're super excited for this movie. I was excited to see it too, but
I saw film chat
I was
open
excited.
up.
I was excited. I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, we saw this over Quiet Place day one. Mark, should we see that?
Quiet Place Day One. I mean, yeah, I mentioned this on my stream earlier. Somebody had asked me about it. Our review of A Quiet Place Day One is absolutely adequate, serviceable filmmaking.
Okay, Neil, take away Joe Henry. I want to see your beautiful face.
What?
I want to see your beautiful face, Neil.
You say Joe Henry, he appears like Candyman.
I know.
Why, Chris?
Neil, I have
gotta...
Neil is fucking done with the show. He is over it.
I'm sorry. I pretty much got stoned just a second ago. Anyway,
no shit, dude. No shit.
But anyway,
you don't say.
So what do you want?
I was Mark. Do you want to promote your shit real quick?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so clips of my show, skits of my children doing fun things, karaoke, nude or otherwise, or with my children, or nude or otherwise, can be found.
Whoa. There's a line, brother.
What?
No,
I didn't say who was or where. At Mark Radledge. My TikTok is at Mark Radledge on TikTok. I currently doing this whole show I was live streaming on there for what that's worth. I do live streams on there when I watch boxing, or I'm going to be watching Money in the Bank. I'll do a live stream then. Also, like I said, I do 10 or plus now, because you can do up to 30 minutes clips of any one of my shows, which can be found on W2M Network. We have a YouTube page at W2M Network. That's where all of my stuff is. Source material, games to the max, all of it right there on YouTube. We're also on Twitch and X, and the Radledge and Broadcasting Network is the name of my stuff. That's on Facebook. We have a landing page, W2Mnet.com is where I post all of our shows with pretty pictures. You can get the audio there. If you're one of these weird people who doesn't watch videos, but you would like to hear the podcast the way it was meant to be, on strictly audio, we are the Radledge and Broadcasting Network. That's RADULICH. You can see it up on the screen in broadcasting. And we are that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever podcast catcher that you use. I'm done talking now.
Why?
All right, you can find you can find news on Suck and news on Suck.net, where X and GS Podcast and Instagram GS Podcast. We're on TikTok. We do news on Movies Don't Suck. We have a Patreon so News Don't Suck podcast, or Twitter, and I just said that. If you go to Bonfire, search Movies Don't Suck and you'll find our shirts on there. I think Neil put us on TeePublic, so you search our name, we'll probably show up on there, right?
Yeah,
Movies
I
Don't Suck and
I got some t-shirts on TeePublic, but man, I just keep on making ones, and I just don't know if I should put it under. I have a different name on there, and I don't know if I should put under Movies That Don't Suck or under. It's under Blackwood Productions. Look up TeePublic Blackwood Productions. You can find all the t-shirts there. I got liners. I got blues. I got Blues Brothers. I have stuff from the craft. I have stuff like that. Hey, I'm trying to advertise you, Dick. Don't be an asshole. I'll go to your house. I know where the fuck you live, bro. It's only a 3-hour drive. I will come over there. I will pet your chickens. I will feed your dog, and I'll give you a hug. Anyway,
What are you doing to his chickens? You shouldn't fuck chickens, Neil. Leave the
Man,
chickens alone.
God dang it. Don't bring up my childhood dilemma.
And if friends can subscribe to YouTube, like us, all that places, share as well, all that shit that people told you. Neil, if you got a small business, what are we doing?
If you got a small business, let us know. Email us, message us, send a pigeon, whatever. We like to advertise you right here on this podcast to our thousands of listeners and our millions of followers.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, are you guys good to get out of here? And what the fuck is you bank? You guys good?
Yeah, good. Let's get it done.
Okay.
That's another episode of Movies Don't Suck and Stuff New. My name's Neil.
And I'm Chris, and
I'm Mark.
And remember, guys, no matter how hard you try in life, remember your card can't go anywhere if you put a banana up the tailpipe. Have a good day.
All right. Hey, I got a question to ask you, but I'm going to let the people on TikTok know that I will be back in a few minutes on DAZN, which rhymes with calzone. But for now, I got to turn this off. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. How do I get on TeePublic?
Oh, well, if you want that stuff, well, let me do this first. Hey, everybody, all
sorry.
37 of you guys still watching. Love you guys. You guys have a good time. Thank you for joining us on a random Saturday after July 4th weekend. I mean, thank you guys. Next time, go to one of the rooms where you can knock in the chat, and we'll be more than happy to add your comments to the page. We can talk about you. Can maybe even bring you in sometime. So guys, just let us know. Have a good day. Enjoy each other, and whatever you do, don't follow the example of Mark or Chris. They're very